right, everyone, we are here with two special guests from Love Island USA, the winners themselves, Zeta and Timmy. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited. What a season. How are you guys feeling right now?
Ladies first.
Well, I'm feeling amazing. I was just woken up FaceTiming Timmy this morning, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm FaceTiming my man. Like, this is so strange. But yeah, winning was just everything to us. We really didn't expect it. We didn't know. And so it was surreal. And it feels really good.
Timmy,
Yeah,
how are you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, it was quite the journey. I had some battle scars for sure from everything that went on. So I took a day or two to decompress, and I'm starting to feel myself again. It's nice. It was a great time, obviously, but there's just a lot that goes into it, and I'm just very proud of myself personally, and then I'm proud of Zeta, and I'm proud of us. And I feel like we could look back on it and say that we did things to the fullest out there. So it does feel amazing to have climbed that mountain and now feel like you're at the top and you can settle in a little bit. So yeah, I was FaceTime Zeta this morning. It's just nice. Good to see her face. You know, I was showing her the crib. She hasn't seen my spot yet. So like we're just getting into that, swing of things.
And things now change dramatically for you guys from going into the villa, now being out of it. And whenever we talk to contestants on shows like these, like Love Island or whatever it may be, Netflix shows, these shows are like social experiments, right? Because you go in there and you are not in touch with the outside world whatsoever. You guys can't watch TV. There's no music. It's just Love Island 24/7. Now, what was the most surprising part about being in the villa compared to what you expected going into it?
Mm. Yeah, go ahead.
For me, it was the level of emotional exhaustion. Like, it's like how taxing it could be, just always having to express your feelings and to really like step outside of yourself. I thought, oh, it's fine with like a summer of love, like, yeah, and it really was, but you have to do the work, and that's what that place really taught me as well. Like, it's not just like love is not just free. Like, you really do have to put in time, you have to put in work, you have to do things you might not want to do sometimes, you have to show up for your person. And so, yeah, I think I just didn't expect how emotionally taxing it would be.
Yeah, I would say mine is very similar to hers. It's just like having to speak on where you're at emotionally every day and being tuned to where you're at and like really understand why you're feeling things. Like you had to be very in tune with yourself each day because you had to speak on it. So,
Yeah.
that after a couple weeks of that, just like trying to stay clear within yourself, it can be tough and challenging. So that was big for me.
So you guys definitely at the beginning, had some ups and downs, but post Casa Amor really felt like you guys were really, really solid. When did you both feel like, okay, I think this is gonna work and it feels secure? Because I feel like a lot of times you don't feel that
Yeah.
security, but it did feel like you guys got to a point where you were really secure in your relationship.
Yeah, I mean, the honest answer is it happened very quickly for me. Like I said, I felt like I got the cheat code to the game very early. Like I met this girl, I'm standing behind her. We're just chopping it up. We're talking like when we shouldn't be talking. We're giggling when we shouldn't be giggling. All these things are happening, and then we sit down and have a conversation. That first conversation, like we just were in awe about how many common denominators there were between us. And then that just kept catching momentum. And so, I mean, I just knew it was special from the jump. I think after the Bria situation, that's when I knew exactly where I was at. But I saw the potential and the excitement very early on with Miss Zeta.
Um, Yeah, I would say the same. From day dot, meeting Timmy, I was like, oh my days, this is going to be like one of my best mates, no matter what. Like, even if we don't happen to hit it off romantically, like, I'm probably going to be chatting to him in the villa, like chatting to him outside of it. So he was just such a comfort zone for me, immediately. So it's like, I knew it was special immediately. It's like you feel really scared to say that type of things. People are like, really? But yeah, I knew it was special immediately. And then we had our secret kiss, the Bria days. And I think that really just solidified what I felt for him and what he felt for me. I think we both felt it in that moment. And after that, it's like my trust started to come back for him. And so everything that had started like on day one was just like, it was just making its way back and like being sturdy. So I would definitely say it was after the secret kiss for me was when I was just quite locked in with him.
Because you guys were basically together from the beginning, what is the feeling like when a new Islander comes in?
Good question. I mean, it's always like that new guy on the block feel. So you're skeptical, you're curious about what type of energy they're gonna come in with. I mean, listen, it's tough being a bombshell, and I saw that firsthand. Like, it's tough to come in there with the right amount of aggression, for lack of a better term. Just like you don't want to be shy. You want to go after what you want, but you also want to do it in a respectful way, and that balance is very tough for a lot of people. So for me, I was just kind of feeling everybody out. Luckily, once again, like I was in a very confident, comfortable spot with Zeta where I felt like she just understood me. So at the end of the day, she can talk to whoever, but at least I know she has a pretty good grasp of like who I am as a person and my character. So I kind of just hung my hat on that. And then other than that, it was just like the curiosity of somebody new coming in. And for the most part, everybody who came in was the good people. So it's always fun. It's a new person. I actually kind of welcomed it at a certain point. It's like you want something, something new and fresh. Just like guy, girl, who cares? Just like somebody to bring something else to the table because you're around the same people every fucking day. And,
it's 24/7, right? Like you're doing basically the same thing at all times.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
So you have to throw some new
spice it up.
Throw some new people into the mix. What this journey worked out for you guys so well, but when you were going through the process of going on this show, what were your expectations? Did you think like, oh, maybe I meet somebody that'll be fun? Or or like more casually, or were you like, I'm going in there to find somebody, I want a relationship at the end of this?
Zeta, you got a really strong stance on this, so go ahead.
I went on wanting my husband. I was not playing. I was not messing about at all. I've been single for 6 years. And I just got to a point where I was like, wow, I have worked on myself so much that I am just ready to pour into someone else. Like I felt like my cup was full and I was actually like ready to give somebody everything that I'd been working on. And so I went in. I've been praying about a husband for like a year. I was adamant, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to this and that. But I need to go to a place where that is the focus. Like it's obviously a game, and some people go in there and they're just trying to play a game and make money or whatever, or get social media followers, all of that stuff. So I know that, but at the same time, I'm like, what better place to go than where you're forced into it? Like you put yourself in a situation where you have to find love. That's what you're doing. You have to get to know someone, not find love, but get to know someone. And so, I was very focused on meeting my husband. My mum was like, you're going to meet your husband in Love Island. So, I went in there with that mindset.
My mindset was just confident because I felt like I was in a position where finally I am emotionally ready. I'm career ready. You know, I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at as far as my own personal projection of like what my interests are and what my plan is for the next coming years, and my priorities lined up, and I worked on myself. So I came in wanting to explore anything that I felt like was good for me. So this was the most emotional readiness I've ever had in my life, and I was ready to just put myself out there and see what happens. I didn't have any crazy expectations. I actually wasn't going to go on the show originally. Like my sister alluded to that when she got on there. My sister played a huge role in just saying like, "Hey, try it out. You should do it. You're ready. You can do something like this." For me, I was just, obviously thinking about all the situations and just like the clutterness and like, the messiness. Like I try to, as an adult, the luxury is like, you don't have to be in situations you don't want to be in. So like, I've been living like that for so long, and I knew I had to compromise that in the situation like Love Island. So that was my only like skepticism. But other than that, I was emotionally ready to find a partner,
Yeah.
find a person.
It sounds like you were both kind of in similar headspaces, which is great because I feel like that's exactly how you want
I think that
person to feel.
I think that both views and outlooks on the situation are good. I think that Zeta, you were a lot more confident and I'm going to find my husband. And the way that you're talking about it, you can tell that you are so genuine in feeling that way, because I think it's funny when you ask those people those kinds of questions, or you see other contestants go on shows and they ask, "Oh, did you go on for like the right reasons or what?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, I totally." And you could tell that they're not, but it's fun. I think it's okay, honestly, because for an example, I don't know if you guys watch Love Island UK at all. Season 5, Molly May and Tommy Fury, who just like I follow them to this day. I think they're an amazing couple. And Molly May did an interview recently where she was very honest, and she was like, to be honest, I knew going on the show I would, gain a lot of social traction. Things would come out of this for my brand, but I also got lucky enough to
She was also 19.
Find my love. And so I think either outlook on it is okay. And if you end up finding someone that you want to be with, I think that's amazing as well. And you guys have seemed to do that.
Yeah. Completely agree.
Yeah, so I think probably one of the biggest questions you guys are getting now, right? You leave the villa and everyone says, what now? What are your plans? What do you see? What does your life look like 6 months from now?
Yeah, I think the beauty of that question is that we're going to figure that out as we go. I think we have an understanding of we're both just high-driven people. We have a lot going for ourselves on an individual level. So the collaboration is the most exciting part about this outside the villa next chapter. So, it's going to be the little stuff first, like just seeing her spot. She's going to come over to my spot. We already know I'm going to London at some point, New York City at that point, like a little bit of travel and collaboration. And I don't know what it's going to look like. That's why I'm excited. I just know I want it,
Zeta, is your family already dying to get you back across the pond?
Yeah. When I came back from London and then I applied for Love Island USA, my mum was already ready for me to be back in London at that time. And then I, was told that I would be going on the show. And so then it was 3 weeks and I was on Love Island. And so coming off, she's like, okay, come back home. I'm always ready to go to London, so I'm just going to stay here and do what I need to do, and then obviously I'll probably be off to London in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Can you guys take us what the audition process was for both of you getting on the show, if there was an audition? I think that so many people are curious about that, and you said even that you weren't even going to go on the show. So
yeah, for me, my story is I actually got a DM for last season, and they asked me if I was interested, and I'm like, all right, let me try it out. Let me see if this is even a possibility. So I went through the whole application process, and it's intense. Well, at least mine was. I had 5 interviews, psych evaluation, blood work done, a psych test and everything. It was 7 different appointments that I did over the span of 3 or 4 months. at the end of that whole trial, they ended up veering off with another character. So I was cool off that. I was already like, maybe I don't do it, whatever. Let's see what happens. It ended up not happening, and then they reached out for this season that was just on, and I kind of was able to skip a lot of the steps that I did in the previous round, and then they gave me the green light.
Yeah, my story is actually quite funny. So I applied for Love Island UK originally, and then they asked me for a video, and they were sending more stuff. But then I ended up shooting my first TV series in Kenya. So I was like, okay, Love Island UK is not on the cards. It's fine. Moving on. And then I came back to LA, and I was just sitting there thinking, wait, I think there's a Love Island USA. So I was like, let me just look it up. I started looking it up. I thought, oh, there's 3 seasons. I was like, I wonder when the 4th season is. And it was literally happening very, very soon. So I found a casting director, and I reached out to her. And then 3 weeks later, I was on Love Island USA. So,
love it.
You were
determined.
Fast process, yes.
Me, yeah. I just woke up and I was like, oh shit, I guess I'm doing Love Island USA.
Yeah. UK, US, I'm finding love.
Did you guys have to do any sort of compatibility test, like to figure out what you're into, love interest, anything like that?
I don't think it's compatibility test, but you have to be very honest about who you are, what you want, what you like, what your last relationships are like. So it's things like that, and then I think they match it.
Right. I mean? To see these people could potentially end up. Yes. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there was, no shortage of drama on this season from your fellow Islanders and things that were happening, and we got down to that finale and saw these couples. Who are you guys most confident in, besides yourselves, on who could make it on the outside world as a couple?
Well, look, I feel like this is a sleeper pick, but I think Joel and Bella, I could see that working.
That's an underdog. That's an underdog pick for sure.
Underdog pick, yeah. But I would say the ones that were out of the finals and everything, I think Sydney and Isaiah are gonna stand the test of time. I think, it's puppy love, I feel like they do. There's so much realness there. They like each other a lot. And they work really well with each other. And I think they already were talking about the sacrifices they're gonna make. So I just feel like they have the right idea after all this, and they're really vocal about making it work and shifting their worlds for each other. So just based off what they're saying and how I see they operate together, I would say Isaiah and Sydney probably will make it.
Yeah, and then I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I've rated Deb and Jessie since day dot.
That too.
Yeah, everybody always feels like that's not, I don't know, they've gotten the most doubt throughout the whole season, and even the way Jeff kind of left things, it made it seem like he certainly didn't think that they were going to be good either.
Yeah, and I get it. I really do. I'm not blind to what everyone else may be seeing, but I also see something in them that other people just don't see, and they've just got this passion between them, and I feel like that's what's kept them going, even through all of the shit that's been thrown at them and all of the doubts that they may have had. But if they can just get through, I told them both, we all need therapy, but I told them both I think they should go to therapy. It's a healthy thing. I think they've just got things that they're both unaware of, and if once they do that, I think they'll blossom, honestly. Yeah. So Deb and Jessie.
What was I about to say? Social media. That you guys don't obviously get to see each other's social medias. You're in this, you're really getting to know everyone without that preconceived notion of them. Now that you're out, have you stalked your other Islanders pages where they're doing? Because I feel like Isaiah, when I found Isaiah's TikTok, I was like, oh my God. That's what this guy was doing the whole time before he came on Love Island. I mean, he has a ton of followers on TikTok, but it's just like sometimes you would never guess that kind of guy, you know, they're doing the sexy TikTok vibe and the whole thing. Have you guys looked at anyone's page and been like, I'm a little surprised by this?
I actually have not had the time to look at everyone's page. Like,
she's tired.
I've been with these people too much already.
I'm like, call me in 3 to 5 business days, and I will let you know how I'm feeling about everyone's social media.
I checked out, I had to check out my barbecue boys, you know what I'm saying? So I checked out, I can't lie, I checked out Jesse's and Isaiah's because I was just curious. And I actually do like seeing like the before and after. So I kind of scrolled all the way down to see what Jesse was up to. And Jesse, he's such a cool, normal guy. Like he just had the regular pictures, football pictures, like no braids. I just wanted to see like, his projections. So he was living a modest life, and same as Zay. Zay's just, he on that pretty boy shit. Yeah. So they both look really good, and I'm very happy for them, and they seem like they're, cultivating their following and everything. So I'm nothing but happy.
The one of the biggest part of Love Island, you guys do these crazy challenges. You play these games. Some of them are sexy and fun. Some are pretty gross. What were your favorite and least favorite challenges that you guys did this season?
Did those challenges look lit? Did y'all like them?
Yeah, I mean, when it's like slow-mo sexiness, it's great. When we're watching you spit food into each other's mouths, so that's not great.
I think it's also funny when the challenges come about because you're like, oh yes, a challenge, and then you realize like nothing happens after.
Well, yeah, it's funny because the challenges are basically pointless.
Right,
it's
you're just like, it's literally just so they can like play some games to entertain themselves.
Yeah, see who makes out with who. Right. Those kinds of
cause drama.
After the description, they would be like, there would be no awards given out for this challenge. It's like, okay.
Yeah, like we know.
Yeah. I mean, you have a favorite challenge, or what you think?
Babe, do you know what? It's so funny. The food one with you.
I know. That was the one for me too.
One, just because I know how much you hate that kind of shit. And you were so in it with me, and you were just like, I'm gonna do this for Zeta, like I'm gonna do this for us. It's okay. Working together, and so it was actually one of my favorite ones to do with you.
Yeah, you said I wasn't gonna get through it. I remember you said that right before we went through, like, Timmy ain't gonna do this, and I had to tap into a certain mindset to like get through that challenge. So that one just stuck out to me, and then I'm just sitting across from my girl with food all over our faces, and we're in a nasty cart with all types of mixed entrees. Like,
it's a bonding. It's a bonding experience.
It was yeah.
Oh. Like obviously relationships are just about, seeing can you get it together in a situation, because life just comes at you so hard, doesn't it, sometimes? And so you're just like, can you get through it? And I know it's something silly like a challenge like that, but Timmy hates that stuff, and he just was like, like right about to throw up, and I'd be like, Timmy, just throw it up, and he'd be like,
yes. Yeah, no, it was amazing to work together like that.
That's really funny. And Zeta, you brought up that there is a $100,000 prize at the end of this, which is quite a nice bonus, I would say. How were your thoughts on the money when it came down to the end? Like, were you guys thinking about it at all, or was it kind of like an afterthought?
We were not thinking about it.
Timmy's face says he may have been thinking about it.
No. This is just funny because I'm just thinking about opening up the zero, and she had the 100K.
Yeah. We weren't thinking about it until the day of. They actually were telling us, like, there's 100K on the line. You need to get excited. And we were like, okay, right. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, we'd come there, we'd gotten what we wanted. Yes, 100K is so exciting, but it wasn't on our mind until the day where it was like, hey, it's really happening. There's 100K and someone's going to win it. I think that's when Timmy and I were like, oh shit, like that's exciting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the 100K is even an afterthought for viewers, right? Because I think we forget that there's a money prize element at the end too, because you're just looking at who wins as like what people deem as the.
It's also like on,
I don't even know how to
on
word
all
it.
the on so many of the seasons across the different countries, you don't really see anybody pull that move. It's like normally you split the money, or it's like I think there was just one season of Love Island Australia where one of the guys kept all the money.
I would have loved to see that for one time, like not with anybody I'm rooting for, but just like one time somebody pulls that move.
I know. I was gonna do it for you, but then I thought
you could have kept it, and then afterwards be like, all right, I'll give you your piece after.
so,
How about 75-25?
yeah, that was originally my plan. I was like, do you know what? If I get the 100K, I'm going to just take it, and then I'll Venmo Timmy.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, that's really funny. But we had such a great time watching you guys this season. Zeta, I think you were a breath of fresh air on the show, and Timmy, you gave a lot of great comedic moments and great poetry and lines that we've never heard before on Love Island. So it was really great. You guys were both awesome, and congratulations on winning. And we're looking forward to seeing what's next for you guys. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So nice meeting you guys, and congrats again.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Peace.